Welcome to another edition of Maryland's Missing and the Murdered. I am Kara Stone, and this week we're going to talk about the Browning family. On February 2nd, 2008, the affluent suburb of Cockeysville, Maryland, was rocked by the deaths of the Browning family. The Browning family was headed by John, a 45-year-old lawyer and scoutmaster, his wife, Tamara, 44 years old and a PTA president, and sons Nicholas, age 15, Greg, age 14, and Ben, age 11. This horrible story centers around Nicholas, a sophomore at Delaney Valley High School. Nicholas was an honor student and working towards Eagle Scout. Little did anyone know, Nicholas was having issues at home. Students who rode the bus with Nicholas had heard him talk about killing his parents, but they didn't take him seriously. They also witnessed Nicholas punch his brother on the school bus. He would tell friends that his father was rich and that he wanted his money. He would also call his mother a dumb blonde. What outsiders didn't know was that John Browning was allegedly abusing his sons verbally and physically. On the evening of February 1st, 2008, Nicholas Browning was at a friend's house playing video games. Around midnight, he decided to walk the 3 miles back to his house. When Nicholas arrived home, he found his father John sleeping on the sofa. Nicholas went to the basement and grabbed his father's gun. It was then he returned to the living room and shot his father. Nicholas then went upstairs and shot the rest of his family. In an attempt to make the murders look like a robbery, he overturned his mother's jewelry box and stacked video games by the front door. Nicholas then went outside, threw the gun into the bushes, and proceeded to walk back to his friend's house, where they continued to play video games. The next day, on February 2nd, 2008, a friend drove Nicholas home. Nicholas went in and came back out, saying his father was bleeding from the nose. Nicholas then called the police. The officers arrived at the Browning home and found the rest of the family upstairs deceased in their beds. The police took Nicholas in for questioning, and it was then he confessed to the murders. Nicholas was taken into custody, and the grand jury indicted him on 4 counts of first-degree murder and 4 counts of illegal use of a handgun. On March 20th, 2008, a judge ordered a psychological evaluation of Nicholas Browning. A psychiatrist met with Nicholas Browning for over 14 hours over a period of time. The psychiatrist determined that Nicholas Browning was in a, quote, trance-like, end quote, state during the murders, and it was brought on by the physical and verbal abuse from his father, John. However, during court proceedings, prosecutors alleged that Nicholas Browning killed his parents so that he didn't have to answer to anyone, and that he killed his brothers so he didn't have to share the inheritance. On January 23, 2009, under a plea agreement, Nicholas Browning pled guilty and was sentenced to 4 life terms, with all suspended but 25 years. He has to serve 23 years in prison before his first parole hearing. During sentencing, he cried and apologized. Browning's relatives have stood by him and backed his claims that he was abused physically and verbally by an alcohol-fueled father. In 2014, Nicholas Browning asked for a reduced sentence, but the judge denied his request. Thank you for joining me this week. If you would like to get in touch with me, please email me at marylandsmissing@gmail.com. Sources are listed here, and music is by Silent Vengeance. Have a good week.